Right, so our question says a man spends 1/3 of his salary on food, a quarter on transport, and saves the rest. If he saves 200, what is his salary? Right, so the trick here is the first two are given as fractions, and then the third one is given as an amount. So it's difficult to figure out how much is it. But we know that when the person got his salary, it was just money before it became fractions. So we can now just have a diagram to see how it like, and then we say this is the amount that the person had, and it was in 3, divided into 3, right? Where we are saying the first one is a third, and then this one is a quarter, and then the other one we don't know what it is, we just know that it's 200, right? So we are now saying this is food and this is transport, and then we have savings like this. So this here we are saying that's his salary. So we are saying if we add food plus transport plus savings, we get the amount of money which he had as his salary, right? So what we can say is when his salary is given, before he uses anything, it's 1 unit which is equal to 1 whole, right? So because we now know that it is equal to 1 whole, so let's subtract these two that have got like terms. So we now want to see what fraction of his salary was spent on food and transport altogether. So to get that, we say 1 whole, which is representing his salary, take away, we need to combine 1/3 plus 1/4, which is equal to the fractions for food and transport. Right, on the side, let's quickly do it, and then we say 1/3 plus 1/4, right? We know that we can't add fractions with different denominators, so we can simply do the cross multiplication method, right, where we say 3 times 4 is equal to 12, right? So 4 times 1 is 4, 3 times 1 is 3, right? So which means the fraction for food and transport is 7/12, right? If you want the method for equivalent fraction, since we've done equivalent fraction, it will be 1/3, right, over 6 over 9 over 12, like this. So 1 multiplied by 2, there it becomes 2, multiply there it becomes 3, multiply there it becomes 4. So we are saying 1/3 is equal to 4/12. If we use 1/4, right, we count in 4s, 8, and then 12. So we're now counting in 1s as well, so that's 2, and then that's 3. So we're now saying F 3/12 and 4/12. That's what we have there. So we now know that these two here, right? So we can say 1 whole minus, because we simplified this and we say this is equal to 7/12, right? So which is equal to 1 whole is equal to 12/12, take away 7/12. So we are now saying this, when you subtract, we get it's equal to 5/12, right? So now we can now say this is what these parts represent. Food, which is a third, is 4/12, right? And then transport is equal to 3/12, and then the savings are equal to 5/12, right? So once you have figured this, now it's easier to say, okay, if 5/12 is equal to 200, right? Okay, so we're saying 5/12 is equal to 200, right? So we've figured out now that the fraction of the savings is 5/12. But the question is saying, what is his salary, right? So his salary is equal to 12 parts. So we then say 5 is equal to 200, right? What about 12 parts? Would they be more or less? This is definitely going to be more. So we make our fraction now and say 12/5 times 200, like that, right? 5 into 5, 1, 5 into 20, that's 440. So our final answer will be 12 times 40, 0 is a placeholder, 4 times 2, 8, and then 4 times 1 is 4. So yes, the salary was 480. Or we can say 5 parts are equal to 200. So what is 1 part? To get 1 part, we simply say 200 divided by 5, which is equal to 40, right? So if 1 part is equal to 40, what about 12 parts which are equal to the salary? We then say 12 multiplied by 40. 0 is a placeholder. 4 times 2, 8. 4 times 1, 4. So the total salary was $480.